Hello, finally, that actually worked. Welcome to Ring Takes episode 49 here. As I'm always joined by Brian and Lewis, we're going to be heading into the Royal Rumble this weekend, heading on Saturday. So a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be talking about our picks for the Royal Rumble, the 30-man, 30-woman battle royal to determine the number one contender to go to WrestleMania. We'll be talking about that in a minute. We're going to be talking about Raw heading to Netflix. That's a big deal in the world of wrestling and Netflix. Also talking about The Rock joining the board of directors of TKO, which oversees UFC and WWE, as well as our Royal Rumble picks and Seth Rollins' injury before I forget that as well. But first, we have our first special guest on the show. Welcome, John Escobar, a guy that has been talking about with wrestling for a while now and other things of sports related. Big fan, been to shows. Of course, thank you, John, for joining us, man.
Thank you, Dan, for having me, man. Yeah, man, I'm just glad to be here.
Sweet. You know. So first,
welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Lewis.
As always, we're going to start it off. Who is your favorite wrestler? You can tell by the merchandise, but let us know who it is.
Hold on. Let me just put on his shirt. Let me see. I got the sweater. It's a little cold in here, so the CM Punk sweater. Where is it? There. All right, that's my favorite wrestler right here. So, yeah. So, as y'all know, obviously, CM Punk, of course, been my favorite wrestler since he got into the Indies. Loved him since. Always a fan, huge fan. But my first love was Bret Hart. I cannot deny that. That's the Bret Hart. And Sean is the GOAT. Just letting you know, Daniel. Just to give you a little insight there.
Oh, here we go.
That's the next episode, but don't worry. That I just wanted to throw that out there. Just a little bit.
See, we're off to a bad start.
It has already been decided.
We're off to a bad start.
Just for that comment, he's not a special guest. He's a regular.
Thank you.
So I will say this: you like guys that are technicians that go in the ring and can have good ring work. Yeah. Always a fan of that, of course. I'm not going to agree that Bret Hart is the GOAT. I'm not going to do that, even though he's one of the best technicians ever. But we'll get into that on a later episode. But yeah, CM Punk has been a driving force, and we talked in the chat, of course. We talked in the chat about CM Punk and stuff like that. And with his big return and his pending first ring matchup, that was not Dominic Mysterio. It looks like it's going to be at the Royal Rumble this weekend. So I thought, what a better choice to have a CM Punk fan on. So thank you for joining us. But there's a lot of stuff getting into the wrestling world right now. As of yesterday, I believe, Monday Night Raw heading to Netflix. Netflix, the streaming service, a platform that many people have. And what I saw in the chat and comments and stuff like that, some people look mad that they have to go see Monday Night Raw behind the paywall. Netflix, subscribing to Netflix. And I'm like, everyone has Netflix. So what's the issue with that? But I feel like that's a better way, that it's more accessible, especially to overseas. It looks like they're going to be showing their overseas pay-per-view PLEs for WWE. A lot of their Monday night programming and other specials and documentaries that they're going to be streaming through Netflix. So what do you guys think about that big change to WWE?
Why don't we let our special guest take this one first?
All right. Well, from what I heard, also Friday Night SmackDown is also going overseas too, so you did miss out on that point. But I like it, but let me be objective here. Let me be the voice of reason, like CM Punk would be.
Voice of the voices.
Had to feel that dig in. So pretty much, I feel like having Netflix is a great platform because, believe it or not, a lot of people, don't really have cable anymore. If you think about it, everybody's gone through the streaming. Everything is streaming apps. Everybody has streaming devices, computers, everything, tablets. So really, to have just the Netflix, it's big. But on the opposite side, nobody wants to pay for that subscription. That it keeps going up and up and up every single year. It's just like ridiculous. By the time it gets to WWE live shows, we're gonna wind up paying like $25 a month just for a subscription because they have live shows. So it's gonna be kind of tough. But I do see WWE making a lot more money than it would be if it was on like regular cable, like how it is now. and less commercials. That's something me and you talked about. I'm thinking that might have an effect on advertisement revenue. So let's see what happens with that. But overall, I think the experience might be good. I feel like the experience should be well received. If not, then they have an opt out clause for 5 years. After 5 years, so let's see what happens with that.
I love it too. I mean, you talk about to go from linear television after 30 years to move to a streaming site. I mean, it's just there's so many things that they can do with it. Like I think I had asked in the chat that now since they're going to move to Netflix, does that mean that the TV rating is going to change to back to TV 14? Because you think now that they'll be on Netflix, they can have more edgier content, they can have more edgier storylines. So from that standpoint, it's a positive. But like John mentioned, I think Netflix actually had announced this week that they're planning on raising the price for subscribers. After that, the WWE announcement. So in a couple of months, like John mentioned, we're probably going to be spending like $20, $25, $30 a month for it. But when you stop and you think about it, seeing as that cable TV is slowly dying, I mean, how many people have multiple streaming sites that they're paying in excess of almost $20 to $30 a month? A lot of people, they have Disney Plus, Max, Peacock, have all these streaming sites. So from that standpoint, I mean, even though the money's going to go up, people, I think wrestling fans will still be willing to pay that monthly price. But other than that, I love that WWE continues to change with the times. And the one thing that I like about it more than anything, probably won't change, but now you don't have to have these fan wars between WWE and AEW over ratings anymore, because now they're going to be in two different stratospheres. I mean, you'll still have fans debating with one another which product is better, but you won't have to factor in ratings anymore, because they'll be in two different stratospheres. But I like the evolution, and we'll see how it is moving forward. As far as ad revenue goes, I'm very curious to see how that's going to work, because I mean, I have Netflix just like everybody else does, and obviously I don't have ads or anything, so I don't know how the ad revenue and everything is going to work when they go live, because Netflix doesn't have a live streaming as of yet, at least as far as I know. So that's going to be very interesting.
So I did see somebody mention today, and that was probably the only thing I was wondering about, is that Netflix doesn't have live streaming, like sports and stuff like that. So I wonder how that's going to work, and how well they'll be able to stream every show weekly, and how that's going to go. I think the move to Netflix is great, because I'm definitely one of those people who is not always at home on Mondays and Fridays to sit and catch, Raw and SmackDown, always trying to catch up, whether it's on other places or if you got YouTube TV, you're trying to rewind, start from the beginning. So yeah, it'll be definitely, and to finally have a place that, well, I would hope would record every episode, or hey, start this from the beginning, whatever. I hope that's definitely factored into it. But times are changing, and to think, like Dan said before we started, or when we started, to think how long Raw has been on cable network, and that's literally going to change next year. These are the times we're in, and WWE's got to, and to think that they started off with the WWE network and now they're on Netflix. It's crazy to think how so much has changed. So it's we'll see how it goes, and I hope it does well. But I also hope they still give us, and I am going to be happy. Well, I hope they don't still incorporate ads into it. I hope it kind of has like when NXT used to just be on Hulu, and
it's going to have ads. It's going to have ads.
You gotta make that money.
Ad and the pan out, and then picture in picture. I'm like, I don't know. It just distracts from.
It is the most annoying thing. Yeah, it is. Maybe they're going to make it pay for a tier for that.
Yeah. Prices are definitely going to go up though, just for all.
Yeah, I mean, again, just speaking on the WWE Network, I remember when they had the WWE Network going up, and they just got everything perfect with the WWE Network. You can literally type in AJ Styles versus John Cena, and it will pull up all the matches that they've had, and you can just click whatever one you wanted. Underrated part of the search system that they finally got right after years of trying to get it right. And then they just went to Peacock, and now I have to go to the pay-per-view. I have to scroll through the whole pay-per-view to get to a match I want to see.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That was the most annoying thing about it. So hopefully Netflix can find a way to monetize that and figure out a way to do that. But in terms of what Netflix is doing, I mean, everyone usually has Netflix, but everyone that's complaining about the paywall, I completely understand that, especially with all the gripes about Netflix. The price is going up, and especially in this era where everyone's trying to save money, keep it down on that part. You don't want to have to cough up another. We don't want to go back to monthly paying pay-per-views. I remember when, as a kid,
I never once paid for them. I never saw them.
No more paying. Oh my god!
Perfect.
Please,
no more. I paid
was perfect for a pay-per-view back in the day. It went
to
60, and then it got to 100.
I paid for. I think it was damn near all the WrestleManias. My mom went broke because instead of like a normal human being, a normal adolescent, like teenager, like a 11, 12-year-old, they would go in and order the Spice Channel or something like that. I was ordering pay-per-views like left and forget it. My mom would go crazy. So it's like I know the pain. I don't want to go back.
I never had the balls to actually just like, let me just order this pay-per-view. And what's this $60 charge? I'm like,
$600 charge.
It's like, and especially back in those days, like with TNA, WWE, they would have like the specials or stuff like that, or even it wasn't like pay-per-views. It would be like old stuff that they would show and advertise, and you can order those. So it's like everything was behind a paywall that you had to see, and if you didn't record it on VHS, you never had it. So luckily, my family recorded the VHS and stuff like that. So
I wonder if
Netflix doesn't do that.
Yeah, I would wonder if they would do, like, at least for the WWE aspect part of it, do it kind of like how Prime and like, I think, I don't have Apple TV, but I think like Apple TV, like some of them are like, oh, if you want to add on showtimes or you want to add on this,
like
you just pay an extra $5, but like
that's essentially what Peacock was, because nobody was going to Peacock before the WWE Network like that.
What do you mean? Everybody just wants to watch The Office.
I'm telling you right now, when this deal is finalized, Peacock's value is going to diminish because I've already have plans of canceling Peacock because, like I said, I only watch Peacock for WWE stuff. I never go back to Peacock to watch any of their specials, any of the other stuff that come out, because literally, you can make the argument that WWE is literally carrying Peacock right now.
Yeah, Lewis, because if you think about it, Lewis, to your point, you were saying that Peacock has these other like platforms and stuff like that with like I said, most of those programming went to Netflix. If you think about it, Suits, that's one of my favorite shows. Suits went right to Netflix. So it's Peacock is going down with that, especially with the WWE programming. That's what they're thriving on. And from what I hear, I think, when is their deal up? I think 2027 or something. Yeah, 26 or 27. So when that happens, I already see. I could foresee every programming going to Netflix. From SmackDown to Raw to NXT.
Yeah,
the whole 9 yards. So
and it should be linear. It should if they're going to do that and create that type of big deal. And especially Netflix has their financial issues of their own. So maybe WWE can also drive people to Netflix regardless. Like, if you're going to sit there and watch on a Monday night, you're going to need something leading up to it, you're going to need something after it, you might want to stay with Netflix depending on that. So I think it's a smart business move for WWE to do that, because I'm pretty sure everyone has Netflix, and especially now the international reach that it has, because I think they had an issue with, I don't know if it's Skybox in the UK or whatever the case may be.
It was Skybox.
Yeah, with PLEs and stuff like that, and certain shows and stuff like that. I think it's Channel 4 over there or whatever it is. They've had issues seeing Raw, seeing SmackDown. So now you're adding a whole different international fan base there with that as well. And especially Netflix crossing worldwide, that can open up a lot of doors. People already have Netflix. I don't know if that point in time, I guess if you cancel your Peacock subscription and hopefully the price just goes into Netflix, so you're not spending more money, but definitely seemed like something that is beneficial for WWE going forward and Netflix.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that's the good thing about it. Let's continue moving on here to The Rock on the board of TKO. This came out of nowhere. I don't even fully understand how this happened.
Rock's everywhere.
Yeah,
like in the middle of the night, The Rock is now on the board of TKO, which oversees UFC and WWE. And looking at it from that standpoint, it's like, wow, that's monumental because we know The Rock has been a blockbuster movie star. We know that he's tried to stay in the XFL, and now all of a sudden, now he's with TKO, kind of overseeing things for WWE, and it's like that's crazy to think. We already talk about the Samoan lineage in wrestling, and now it's at the top essentially, like literally at one of the biggest.
We say the head of the table.
Yeah, the head of the table.
That's what The Rock meant. That's what The Rock meant. That's what The Rock meant. He wasn't going to wrestle.
We don't know that.
He's not going to
wrestle.
We don't know that for sure.
And you sent me something, Dan. You sent me something about that. Remember, I think it's his daughter. His daughter's the GM.
Yeah, and his daughter is now the general manager.
Yeah.
Just named yesterday. Yep.
Yeah,
that's taking over everything.
That's insane, dude. It's just like it's Triple H's worst nightmare all over. Like it's like he just got the position. He got Vince McMahon out last year. And then he's like, okay, I got it. It's mine. And then The Rock comes in and beats his ass like he does always. It's symmetry. It's symmetry. It just goes round and round with him. And I feel bad for Trips.
Imagine Triple H is just trying to do like, hey, I just want to run WWE creative and make this in a well-oiled machine. And then it's like, oh, that position you were supposed to get first get bought out. First of all, it gets bought out by a different company. They put you in charge of WWE here. The position that you would originally had now is essentially in The Rock's hands. It's like that's really tough. Like Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, like all of them that were trying to vie for that spot, and it went to The Rock, and it's like, what the hell? Like,
you know what I found kind of funny, because we talk about WWE throughout the years, and we can arguably agree that the '90s with the Attitude Era was the most popular era. And when you think about the Attitude Era, you think of D-Generation X and The Rock, who two of the pillars of that era. Now you got one of them as a board of directors. The other one is the head of creative, and the other one runs NXT. So when you think about it, two of the pillars of the Attitude Era are now running the entire company. It's crazy. When you stop and think about it.
I feel like next they're just gonna add Stone Cold as, I don't know.
He might as well try to get it right.
Him and Undertaker are the other two pillars, so you might as well get them a job, do something with them.
Might as
They know the business, right?
Jesus.
I mean, I think I've talked about this on past shows where it's like WWE has so much money, where it's like we can pay anybody to do anything, and I feel like that's a different avenue that we're seeing, right? Like they have Netflix now. And I've always talked about with UFC, they're more international than WWE. It looks like they're able to touch Brazil, Japan, Canada. They're able to do these different things where it's like WWE might do a house show or a tour. Now it's so international, especially with the lineup next year. Backlash is in France, the Bash in Berlin. They haven't announced where SummerSlam is, but Money in the Bank is in Toronto. So it's like it's definitely getting different where there's so much avenues that WWE can take. And now The Rock is in charge of that. Brings another mainstream appeal to it. People like The Rock as an actor. People are going to tune into that, plug into that, check in when The Rock. We know when The Rock came back on, what was it, Monday Night Raw, how that just set the shockwaves on the media airways and stuff like that. So definitely another feather to add into the cap of The Rock. Now, is he positioning himself with this move to get one last match against Roman Reigns? Is my question.
Yes.
Is that what this is?
Unfortunately, unfortunately, I think that is the case. I mean, because remember, WWE is not stupid. They announced all this the week of the Rumble. They did this for a reason. I mean, they literally could have saved this for next week as like a post Rumble announcement, but they announced it this week for a reason. So there's definitely strategy behind it. So.
Yeah, like the Rumble wasn't already hot enough. Now you got to throw all this on. You got a new deal. You got a new board of directors seat. Like, we all still don't even know who the hell's going to win the Rumble. It's like this. Yeah, I feel like we've been hyping up the Rumble literally all last year, and now it's here. And
now it's like it's overhyped.
Yeah,
right?
Now it's just like yo, what the fuck?
Listen, I feel like WWE is going to just pull a huge swerve. Put in The Rock at number 30. He's gonna win the Rumble, and then everybody's gonna be pissed because Cody didn't get to finish his story, and then The Rock is versus Roman Reigns, and then we already know that The Rock is not gonna go over Roman Reigns. That's not gonna happen. But
we're all still gonna tune in.
You know what's gonna happen? The Rock will win, and then Damian Priest is gonna cash in.
I can see that happening. That would be great. That would be great.
I'd actually be okay with that. I'm not gonna lie.
I think over the past couple weeks, with The Rock returning, CM Punk returning, and so much change and uncertainty, even with Seth Rollins and stuff like that, it's like I'm pretty much okay with anything that happens at this point.
Honestly, every wrestling fan should be, because think about it. If you're not going to get Cody, you're going to get The Rock. Think about it. It's a win. It's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for everybody. So there's nothing to complain about.
Or you can get Gunther, which we'll be talking about.
Gunther.
I like that one right there.
We'll be talking about actually right now. We can change course right now.
Yeah,
real quick. Has The Rock won the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, he did. He won 2001.
Well, technically, 2001. No, he won it.
He won 2000. Yeah, he won.
His feet hit the floor first, so Big Show won that Royal Rumble, but technically they declared him the winner.
Technically, he won.
So it's tarnished. That doesn't really count. So
HBK's Rumble win too. Both feet touched. If you saw it,
actually, no, the replay showed one foot touched the floor. He actually was able to.
But I could have sworn that when he originally went, because I rewatched the Rumble. I know Dan put it in our group, well, in a different group, and I rewatched that Rumble, and I could have sworn when he went over the top, both feet initially touched, but and then he played it off and like one-legged it. Yeah, so I don't know if that was the case, but nothing beats the disaster of John Cena and Batista. Nothing beats that Rumble. When this man went into the ring and tore his quads. Both. How do you do that? You tear both your quads just sliding into a ring, and just he tears them both.
Because he wasn't a wrestler at that time, and he should have went up the stairs and entered the ring like a regular person. That's why. Vince McMahon.
You see how Jack was at that time he wasn't doing that.
Vince McMahon's a little tapped up there.
If you guys listen to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, that podcast, when he tells his version of that story, it's the most hilarious shit in the world.
Oh my God. I was dying.
It was like everyone stuff. His quads couldn't handle it.
He's like, everyone's just sitting there watching him like, what are
you had
doing?
one job.
Yeah. What? He's literally on the ring, on the ropes, like looking at both of them like, help me, somebody help me. He can't even get up.
My thing is just in that moment, it's like, how do you even? And Vince is a tough son of a bitch, right? Because
100%.
To get up and still stand on your feet after tearing both quads, it's like what? And Vince was like 60 at that time, so it's like insanity. It's insanity.
He's 80 now, so I don't know
what's crazy.
Way to age us off. But we can continue moving on with some other Royal Rumble WrestleMania implications. Is Seth Rollins' injury. Seth Rollins came out and basically said he has a tear in his MCL, but is not going to go the surgery route. Is going to go the rehab route and try to be there for WrestleMania and be in line for that. And was confronted by Gunther, who we all think at this point in time has a big chance to win the Royal Rumble, has at one point has a big chance to be a main eventer, eventually take the title this year. But with Seth Rollins' injury, how do you guys feel about that? Heading into that, he's not going to be available for at least 2-3 months
now,
and try to make a go of it at WrestleMania.
Now, let me ask you. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon. I'll cut you off. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you, Brian and Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
It's an MCL tear. So remember, it's not. It's still a tear, and it's harder to rehab without surgery. So me personally, I don't think he's going to be ready for WrestleMania. And if he is, I don't think the match quality. Because remember, he's a worker. He wants to put on a great match. So I feel like they're going to have him off TV until they get more clear with the doctors and see where he's at progressively. But if he cannot wrestle, I feel like he's, obviously, I've never had an MCL tear, so I don't know what. But I heard it's pretty serious.
I'm actually very glad that you just said that because Seth was actually on ESPN MMA with Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier asked him about the injury, and I actually have the quote up. This is what Seth said. He said, "Dodge the bullet. The ACL is intact. The MCL will heal with time. I'm hoping to be back at full strength in around a month. That's kind of my timeline. We're going to take it day to day. I like to be back in a month. I don't want to walk into WrestleMania and that be my first match in 2-3 months. That's not going to be good for me." And then he said, "I want to be able to get in there, test the wheels, and make sure we're in a good place. So we'll see how it goes. I'm happy we dodged the bullet and wasn't anything too serious that wasn't going to put me on the shelf for 6 to 9 months." So his his goals are up there to come back within a month. So knowing Seth Rollins, and I'm not sure if it was the same knee injury that he had around during WrestleMania 33 when he was in that program with Triple H.
I think it was a different knee.
It was a different knee.
Yeah, it was a different knee.
But as far as pushing through pain and amping up the rehab, I wouldn't put it past Seth Rollins to be back in time for WrestleMania. Seeing as it's WrestleMania and arguably what the story that they possibly have planned with your number one guy and CM Punk.
That's right.
Just that alone, with that story alone, I think it's going to motivate him to be back in time.
Listen, I don't want to cut you guys, Daniel. I know you were about to go, but I'm praying he's back healthy because if he's not healthy, I already know they're going to bury the shit out of CM Punk and they're going to put him in a garbage ass match against Cody, a useless match that he doesn't need to be. He needs to be in a main event match for the championship.
That could still be a big match, though.
If Steph isn't good and he has to vacate the title, and let's say he wins the Rumble, that could easily be the main event match.
I felt like with the Seth Rollins injury, they should have took the belt off of him, and then whoever the winner
he heals
was,
up, then he's fine. Like Brian just said, if they're predicting a month, I don't think WWE would have been like, yeah, hold on until like Mania, and if you're not good, we're just gonna take it off you. I think the doctors obviously give him a full breakdown on like, all right,
he's got the John Cena recovery, man.
The Rumble Cena.
No issue, man. No, I wouldn't put it past Seth Rollins to come back and be well. I'm pretty sure they got enough doctors in that week last week to be like, hey, what's the injury? What's this? They probably did 10 million MRIs. What's the time frame on this? What's the maximum rehab we can do to get you back in a month and a half or so and make sure you're good for WrestleMania? I'm pretty sure they can do that in this day and age, because it's not like back in the day, like an MCL tear would take you out for like a year and some change. Like maybe even 10 years ago, probably you would have been out. But now in this day and age of medicine, and especially with Seth's response to it, the way they didn't take the belt off of him, it seems like he's good to go. So I feel like with WWE, I feel like they're in a good place with that. And their history and track record shows with injuries that they're pretty good at managing those comebacks.
sometimes too good. Because I remember when Daniel Bryan was having issues at first, and like he would be like in these matches, and then like he would land on his head, and then they would call the match off, but Daniel Bryan was perfectly fine, but they were just trying to like look out for him. So agree with Daniel, like if they knew but before Monday that he wasn't going to make it, they would have just made it official right then and there. So I think they're going to trust him to be back.
I'm not gonna lie. If at first I'm gonna be like, this is a bullshit injury, because if Gunther and Imperium are gonna attack him right now, then he's definitely cleared.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, most like that's what I was thinking too. I was like, either if they attack him, it's either to write him off or he's okay. But they didn't do either, so I was like, okay, okay. I guess they're gonna try to rehab it, but yeah, speaking for Gunther, who's aiming for that top spot in the Royal Rumble, and with Imperium behind him, Gunther, as I always say, his promo work before, because we didn't really know of him as a character, right? As Gunther Walter in NXT, it was kind of like he was just a powerhouse. He was taking people apart. But over the past year and a half, ever since he's had this Intercontinental Championship, his character has come out as well as anybody on the roster, as in character improvement. And I can't say much about what Gunther's doing, man. He's incredible.
He's the best heel in the business right now, hands down. Best heel.
Your rebuttal, Dan. Your rebuttal.
There has been a heel since 2020 who has been champion.
Where is he?
Hold up, John. Let me clarify. Best heel in the business, or best consistent heel, meaning we see him all the time.
Best consistent heel, best heel champion. I'm telling you, he's got it all. And this is one thing that I was telling Daniel. All right, Roman Reigns, whenever he has his matches, I've seen his matches. They're great because of the crowd reaction. You know how crowds make matches. Now, in-ring performance, Gunther hasn't had a dud in I don't know how long. All his matches have been premium, and they've been so good that even though he's a heel, people still cheer for the match. That's how good his matches are. Every single match. He's had the match with Miz. That was an amazing match. Way better than what Roman had with
that was my example. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, way better. He just left.
He got that frustrated with the question.
Yeah, because I said the Miz match was better.
We are not comparing Roman Reigns nearly 1,000-day reign over main events of 4 ongoing into 5 WrestleManias to Gunther and the Miz. We will not do that. We will not.
But Dan, you're telling me, okay, I
love Gunther. I love Gunther as a heel. I love his ring work. I'm a big fan when he was Walter. But we cannot sit here as a wrestling publication and sit here and have the audacity to say Gunther and the Miz is better than anything Roman Reigns is.
No.
Try to input that as
even Roman versus Logan Paul.
Yeah, I definitely would put that above Hogan.
Just because of that one spot, you're gonna tell me that match was way better?
That match was horrible. It was not.
Roman Reigns has sold out arenas.
No, not Roman Reigns.
Did not continue.
The WWE has. The WWE has, not Roman.
Not Roman.
I mean, people were there to see other people, but Roman.
Yeah, exactly. Now you putting somebody too high up on that pedestal.
When Austin was champ, people were there to see Tonka Michinoku. Huh?
Austin wasn't the only profitable talent on that roster. It was. I mean, he was number one. The other people, they was there to see other people too.
You got to remember when Stone Cold became Stone Cold. Bret Hart was still there. Then obviously he left. Shawn Michaels, DX. So obviously they left. The Rock became prominent. So it wasn't just Stone Cold. Just like you say, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table. He's not the head of the table, but obviously he he main evented. He did all these things. I know you like to point that out, Dan, but like I said, as a matter of fact, when he only defends his championship when he wants to or whenever he's available.
Because he's the main attraction.
He's not.
It's old.
I take Rhea Ripley over him right now. Rhea Ripley's the main attraction.
She hasn't defended her title all the time.
Yeah, she has. She defended it. What was it, like 2 weeks ago?
I understand that, but she hasn't defended it all the time. She's missed a couple pay-per-views here and there. But again, it's old school booking with Roman Reigns. You didn't see the champion on every show. And let's be honest, with him not being there all the time, it's given other storylines time to breathe. It's given other guys to shine. It's made the star of LA Knight.
No, but that's okay. Yeah, that made
there's benefits. There's benefits for not having your champion on television all the time. I know we had the era of Brock Lesnar where Brock Lesnar would show up once every 3 to 4 months.
That's where I was going. But that's where it went. No,
this is different.
But when Brock does it, it's a problem. But when Roman does it,
Roman does it, it's beautiful.
Roman
because when Brock was doing it, it was the same fucking stick with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out, talks about Brock Lesnar.
Who does Roman have? Who does Roman have by his side?
It was the same
Paul
stick.
Heyman.
Who does Roman have by his side?
Roman has the bloodline.
Oh my God! Here we stop it.
Stop it. So now we're just gonna crap on the hottest story in wrestling for the past 2.5 years.
Yeah. The hottest story right now.
All
of a sudden, Jey Uso's story arc doesn't matter. Jimmy Uso's story arc doesn't matter. Solo's arc doesn't matter. All of a sudden, Sami Zayn's arc doesn't matter.
Well, he's hurt.
All that stuff just didn't happen.
Who says it doesn't matter? It's just saying.
I'm just saying.
But this is what it's saying. You're literally in the same
person
boat of what happened with Brock, but with Brock it was.
I'm
crap.
saying the Brock.
I'm saying Brock, and now Roman, it's different.
I'm saying Brock didn't have the story that Roman had.
Oh, come on! No,
challenge everybody. What are you talking about?
He was dominated. He dominated John Cena. Remember that? Nobody beat John Cena that fast.
But those again, there was no storyline. There was no storyline involved in those.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was. They built it up. What are you talking about?
Brock would disappear. Brock would disappear for 2 weeks.
What do you think Roman's doing?
Yeah. Okay, and the funny thing, look, Roman has beaten everybody on SmackDown. What do you think Brock did? Why do you think for the longest time we're like, who could actually dethrone Brock?
Thank you.
And then we got to the point of Drew McIntyre. Look at Drew. Look at his stature. If he already dismantled John Cena, Randy, Daniel, like all these people, there was just nobody there that could dethrone him. That's why he was champ for so long.
Thank you. Absolutely. You see, look, he's already tired.
How dare you?
As I said, we are not going to sit here and disrespect the tribal chief Roman Reigns. We cannot sit here as a
have our own voices, Dan. We have
and disrespect one of the longest reigns in 30 years. That's what we're gonna do here as a wrestling publication because we're tired of.
Did I not say this earlier in the year? I was like, this Roman story is gonna drag out too long. I called it probably before the stuff with Jay happened. I was like, what are they gonna do after that?
And I've said it on the times too. There were times when Roman should have lost the belt. There were times when he should have lost the belt. Drew McIntyre.
That one time.
That's the spot. Yeah. That's the spot I think we all can agree with that he should have lost.
Yeah, Drew.
Drew. There's not points in times when I'm not saying the bloodline storyline has been perfect. I'm not saying everything is gravy. But what I'm saying is the fact that it has been able to carry on this long, it has been as consistent with Roman Reigns, and it has created multiple avenues for people. When Sammy comes back, he's going to be hot. Cody Rhodes' story isn't tied with Roman Reigns.
But you got to remember, okay, so it's not just the bloodline. It's just the factions in general because our truth now is a megastar all of a sudden because of Judgment Day. So
let's be honest. He's given Judgment Day a little bit more legs to stand on.
He's been doing great. He's been doing
for better or for worse, because I know some people don't like the comedy aspect and they feel like some guys are getting turned out of it. We love it.
I love it.
He should be Final Four in the Rumble.
I pray he's Final Four. I pray.
Yo, he has to.
With Damian Priest and
they can't do that.
Maybe a Gunther.
He's gonna have his moment. He's gonna have his moment in the Rumble for sure.
Oh yeah,
but he can't be Final Four, man.
Give our truth his flowers.
Yes.
Give him that Kofi moment.
Yeah, but man,
goodness.
Speaking of Kofi, how far from grace did he fall, man? It's sad to see.
I think Big E had an interview. It
was an old school clip. It was from
it was an old school
Smack.
Yeah, and he was talking with the Miz,
yep.
And he was like, "Yo, the Miz, you have been given all these opportunities." Whereas Kofi Kingston was not given those opportunities and to get squashed. He didn't like the fact that Brock Lesnar squashed him to win the title.
Yeah, me neither.
And I think everyone hated
it.
So I think they were just going back and forth on that. But yeah, Kofi Kingston, and I think those guys are okay with it, right? It's different if you never had that moment. And there was looking at points in times where it looked like he wasn't going to have that moment.
Oh yeah, no.
See, to me, it wasn't even the fact that he just got squashed. It was the fact that he got squashed, and then that same night they moved on to another feud with Cain Velasquez of all fucking people. That's what made it worse.
Hey, there's no issues with Brock Lesnar, right? There's no issues with Brock Lesnar. His story is fine. His story.
Because Roman was always perfect before this Roman.
You want to know who Roman Reigns is not going to be fighting? Cain Velasquez. That's who he's not going to be
fighting. Fighting Cain.
Roman Reigns fights top tier talent. Okay, that is who he faces.
And we all overlooked that what's it called, that Brock Lesnar's got to fight somebody at Mania, and I think it's going to be Gunther. I know we're
that
hoping
would be a
Gunther.
Sick match.
Yeah,
that's the match that we want.
Yeah, actually, I predicted that a couple of episodes ago. Not necessarily for the IC title, but if it has to be involved, it has to be involved. I mean, Brock and Gunther. I mean, I think they had a temporary moment in last year's.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So the crowd was on his feet for it.
And Gunther has said that he wants to face Brock Lesnar in interviews. He has said that. So if Brock Lesnar's in the Royal Rumble, along with all these guys that are going to be in the Royal Rumble, there's so many
angles.
WWE.
I feel like Brock is going to eliminate Gunther. That's what's going to happen. Brock's going to eliminate Gunther, and then Gunther's going to get mad. He's going to go in, attack Brock, and then Imperium will eliminate Brock.
They would set it up perfectly.
Yeah, for Mania. I'm telling you, if not Mania, they'll probably set it. No, it has to be a Mania match.
Yeah.
It's too big. And remember,
it's not going to show up any other time.
Nah. And Triple H said that he wants this to be the biggest Mania ever. So obviously, you have to, Rock Roman, maybe a Cody Punk for the championship. Pray to God, and then and a Gunther Brock. That's the only way to go. Honestly.
Yeah, like it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy for sure. Get out of here. I don't know why that came up on my screen. All right, we're back. But yeah, it's going to get interesting in heading into the Rumble as we can now start making our Royal Rumble picks. Why not? Since we're on the subject of Royal Rumble season, let's get into our first one here. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. This has been brewing ever since the United States tournament has been ushered in. These guys have had some back and forths, but who do you guys have winning in this one?
Well, this is definitely going to be a very good match. I mean, Logan Paul hasn't disappointed in any of his matches so far. I mean, you talk about his matches with what we mentioned, Roman Reigns, his match with Ricochet,
the one,
the match with Ricochet, which was on the low, a very good match. Kevin Owens is such a good in-ring technician, so you're definitely going to get a very decent, a very good matchup between the two, but I gotta go with Logan Paul retaining the title on this one because has Logan Paul had he hasn't had a title defense since he beat Rey Mysterio, correct?
No.
Yeah, so that alone, this is probably going to be.
He's on the Roman Reigns plan, okay?
Yeah, exactly. So, we know how WWE does with their title title defenses. Unless you're Sasha Banks, if you win the title, if you win the title, that your first defense, you're more than likely going to come up.
You at least passed the 90 days.
You bring that up.
I'm just saying. I mean, that was a story. I mean, the longest time she wins the title, but she can't defend it. But it's like it was a thing. But I think because of that, I think Logan Paul comes out on top, goes into WrestleMania as U.S. champ.
Yeah, same thing here. It's his first title defense. I don't see him losing. As much as a fan I am of Kevin Owens, and I feel like, it'd be nice to put the title back on him, but I don't see him. I do want to see them introduce all the people that keep coming out to help Logan. I don't know why they haven't introduced them, because I feel like the thing with Ray, with him getting the brass knuckles, what is it, KSI? I don't know these guys like that or whatever. But
exactly, that's why.
Exactly, I'm like, if he has
unless it's Jake Paul, they don't care. We don't care about the other guys.
Yeah, it's like
I've said at the beginning, it should be Grayson Waller and Austin Theory helping Logan Paul. I've said that.
that would be a nice group.
And then at some point eventually turn on him. But who you got, John?
I feel like I'm gonna take the opposite route. I feel like Kevin Owens wins because, all right, hear my logic with this one. Logan Paul doesn't need that title. He's already a star. He's a star. So you can put the title on Kevin Owens and have him feud with somebody else. But I'm thinking that's what's going to happen is Kevin Owens is going to win, and in some controversy or some type of way that obviously they're going to have a rematch, and then they're going to go back and forth. I think they're going to flip flop that title. That's what I feel, because Logan Paul is not a full-time superstar. He's not a full-time roster member, so he's obviously he needs bigger matches. So I don't think he's just going to have that title for Roman Reigns over here, Daniel Reigns, but he's definitely gonna lose. I feel like he's gonna lose the title. KO I think wins with not a clean way. I think interference, but he wins.
That's one of the reasons why I think Kevin Owens isn't going to win, because like Daniel mentioned, you still have Grayson Waller and Austin Theory out there. I mean, somehow they keep referencing those two in this feud. I think they had mentioned both of them in their promo duel on SmackDown this past Friday. So they're always Theory and Waller are going to be out there. So I just think that factors in a lot, and the fact that feud's not done. And like I mentioned it a couple of episodes ago, it's funny they separated, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn when KO went to SmackDown, and now he's in this 2-on-1 feud. Who can help him? And the guy that he just beat that Raw. So it's like,
well, it is reported that Sami Zayn is going to work the Rumble. So you never know. He might come in. He might come in, help KO win the title, and or if Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
It would be a nice story. I definitely agree with that. My only thing about that is Kevin Owens in his career has only won one time at the Royal Rumble. And that was against Roman Reigns when he was doing the Festival of Friendship with Chris Jericho, and they were a tag team duo, which was highly entertaining. But that's where I'm like, I don't know if he's going to keep this. I think he's going to keep this streak up. I got Logan because it's like Logan does bring eyes to the product, and he doesn't need the title, but him having a title and them probably promoting it on the road to WrestleMania probably is going to bring more eyes in there. So that's why I'm going to go with that. But just looking at what Kevin Owens has done in his career at the Royal Rumble, he's faced Roman Reigns, 4 times at the Rumble. Has only won once. It's crazy to think that he's faced Roman at the past 3 Rumbles. Like, he's always a safe opponent, but he never wins. I don't know if that's going to change. I would like Kevin Owens to have the title, but it's just like the mainstream appeal of WrestleMania and Logan Paul. He is signed to a contract. I don't think he has any boxing matches coming up soon. and it's like I'm pretty sure he's going to be leading up into WrestleMania as the champ. I'm pretty sure of that. So we got 3 for Logan, 1 for Kevin Owens, and I would like Kevin Owens to win. Damn it, he needs a win. I need him to be more prominent on TV. He has been, but I need him to win titles and kick ass. Let's go into our other title match on the night, the only other one. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight. This has been brewing. The Bloodline has gotten themselves into hot water, messing up the number 1 contenders match. And Nick Aldis has been a thorn in the Bloodline side for the past, 2 months, 3 months since he's become general manager. And he's been taking a very fan-friendly approach, not siding with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman and not witting to their mind threats from him and stuff like that. So it's definitely interesting. Roman Reigns is back in the pickle. Now he has 4 challengers instead of 1. Who do you guys have in this one heading into the Royal Rumble?
Let me go first.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
So
I'm just gonna put you down for Roman Reigns right now, right?
No. You scratch that. Scratch that. So my interesting theory with this one is, I actually thought about this because I watched Friday Night SmackDown, and I watched his body language. Solo Sikoa is gonna turn on Roman this Saturday.
What?
I guarantee it. I watch and mark my words. He's gonna turn on Roman this Saturday, and then that's gonna start the downfall of the Bloodline. I guarantee it. I have a feeling. If not like a complete turn, maybe like I would say like the first Jey Uso turn, like slight turn. But I think he'll cost Roman the match. Roman won't get pinned. I feel like I don't know, because it's no DQ, right? It's still
no
DQ.
Okay, so I still feel like Roman will lose the championship this weekend to set up the Rock versus Roman feud, because I don't think they can't have. It's not believable for me. This is how I personally feel. It's not believable to have Roman as a champion going up against The Rock. Nobody's going to believe The Rock's going to beat Roman at WrestleMania for the belt, knowing that
The Rock has one more run in him, okay? That's the Brahma Bull, okay?
He's the board of directors.
That's the board of directors of TK. Hey, Triple H was the head of the authority.
That's what I'm saying.
And he won the Rumble and won the championship.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say of that, I mean, we have seen Goldberg win the title again. So
that is true. Yeah. But Goldberg is not the vice president of the board of director anymore. So I don't think it's gonna happen.
Gentlemen. I mean, outside of his title defense against Logan Paul, I think this is like the least interested a lot of fans have been in a Roman Reigns title match in a very long time. Notice everybody is looking forward towards WrestleMania and who his opponent is going to be. Is it going to be Cody? Is it going to be Rock? Or is it going to be somebody we're not thinking of? So this is the least interested anyone's been in a Roman Reigns title match. That says a lot. Which is, I'm honestly surprised that we're spending this much time on this match, even though Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles, top of SmackDown, are in it. We all know who's coming out on top. We know who's going to headline night 2 of WrestleMania. Do we really need to spend time on this match?
So I will say what John said.
So wait, Brian, I can put you down for Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, just making sure. All right.
Jesus Christ.
To what John said, though, they have. I mean, we've called it. They are planting the seeds for the Solo turn. Now, I don't think it's happening this Saturday. If they want to pull the biggest swerve and mouths dropped that Sunday, I mean, yes. But like Brian just said, yes, everybody in that match could hold the title, but it's, you got 2 people who just came back. Right. Yes, LA Knight I feel like LA Knight was at this peak, and then, after he lost to Roman, what is it, twice or was it once?
Once.
It's not like he's plummeted down. Yeah, people still love him, but it's just like, Roman's back. You got Randy, AJ. It's like, yeah, the odds are stacked against him, but it's just like, come on. Like you said, it's a no DQ. We already know Jay and Solo are gonna get involved. Mm-hmm. I just don't think. I mean, I feel like it'll be a close call where like, dude, what are you doing? You almost cost me the match, and then he'll still win. So I feel like the breadcrumbs of like, you realize you almost lost me the title, is gonna be there in the match, but I don't think he's gonna lose the title.
Now let me ask you guys this: do you think inadvertently Solo hits Roman?
I could see that happening. I could see it happening.
Plant the seeds.
But I think what I'm more on the side of Lewis. I'm going to pick Roman, of course, because it's a no DQ matches, and Roman in no DQ matches always wins because he's the tribal chief. He's the best in the world. Not only that, but I feel like as what all you guys are saying, it could plant the seeds towards Roman being alone at WrestleMania, right? Because I think even if you want to play on the word of words, what Cody Rhodes said the bloodline's going to be taken apart. Sami Zayn said that at points in times in the story where you're going to be all alone. The Rock potentially could play a factor in that. Whatever the case may be, like, if he does face The Rock at WrestleMania, then that creates a split between everybody, right? Because it's like, who is Jay going to side with? Who is Jimmy going to side with? Who is Solo going to side with?
Jay's already out of the picture. Remember, Jay.
But he's on Raw. But I'm just saying in general, because they have asked him about The Rock returning and stuff like that. So
that's true.
All that stuff plays a part, and it's like maybe that's the way they can have like a family feud at some point in time. But it's just like I just don't see Roman losing the title right now because it's just like he's the guy. He's the guy. Like I don't. Randy winning would be awesome because
I would love Randy to win.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
To have that one last run as champion, could potentially face Cody at WrestleMania. That would be
be perfect. That's what I'm thinking. That could be a perfect avenue to put the title on Orton, and then Cody. Other than Roman Reigns losing to Cody beating Orton at Mania for the title.
I mean, that's full circle. That's full circle for that his storyline and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In terms of legacy and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead. Then. Yeah,
I understand it.
I understand the same thing.
Yeah, but I understand it from that point, and also that can also put LA Knight back in a prominent role. He can challenge for the title as well, heading up into WrestleMania or whatever the case may be, or whatever you want to use to him. Speaking on LA Knight, it kind of reminds me of. I don't want to say he's on the level of Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it reminds me of Stone Cold in that 96, 97 range, where he didn't win the title, but he was always in these matches kind of touching the big stars, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. He was always in those matches. The Final Four, I believe, in February, I think it was 97 with Vader, Undertaker, and Bret. And Bret. Like, he was always in those type of mixes. So I think it's good that LA Knight's still in that prominent role. I don't know if they're gonna put the title on him right now.
They will.
Just at this point in time, like down the line, yeah. But right now at Royal Rumble, I don't feel like it's his place to do that. And
I can see the title flip flopping once, maybe. Because you maybe let's say if hear me out with this one. Let's say if Randy wins, for example, or let's say an AJ Styles wins. That if like they swerve us and AJ wins the title, I could see Elimination Chamber, AJ versus LA Knight, and LA Knight pulling off a victory, winning, boom, Damian Priest comes in to cash in or whatever the case may be, cashes in on somebody. He's got to cash it in because it's driving me crazy. Money in the Bank's around the corner. 2 briefcases. What the hell we're gonna do here? But I could see it. Like, I don't know. I can see LA Knight winning once and then losing it like the very next pay-per-view or something like that before Mania to Orton, and then setting up Randy and
so basically going the Mick Foley route.
yeah. The Mick Foley route, man.
I mean, John, I mentioned it on last week's episode of them possibly pulling a Seth Rollins on Seth Rollins and having Priest cash in that Mania on Rollins, similar to Rollins cashing in during Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. So that's not a bad idea either.
Damian Priest in ring work. Again, I'm just impressed with all these guys right now. Heading into WrestleMania season, but Damian Priest, whatever they do, I hope they continue to put him in a prominent role because he's entertaining. He's pretty good in the ring. Like, he has a different style than everybody else. It's like he's unique. He's unique, and I feel like at some point, I hope he doesn't get a failed cash in. I hope.
Yeah, I said it a long time ago. If he gets a failed cash in, I feel like his.
I just feel like there's so many players right now. I hope they don't do it to him. Yeah. I hope they actually try to showcase him because he can definitely go.
They're gonna Baron Corbin him if they do that. They're gonna Baron Corbin him.
But like, I mean, we mentioned it a long time ago. And I think we've started seeing the pieces there. You know, we've seen so many times like all the arguments with the Judgment Day. But even more so now, the whole leader of the Judgment Day thing has been playing a role. And we saw it on Monday. He's like, how like him flipping out at Rhea, like, how about you stop going to freaking Adam Pearce and blah 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 blah, making matches and this and that. You know, so the dismantling of the Judgment Day is coming.
It's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll happen before Mania, after, but I think Damian has to break away if he's gonna, or wins the title and then kind of separates himself from the group. But I don't know. We'll see.
So let me ask you guys this: who do you think who do you think is the first one to break away from Judgment Day?
It's gonna be him. It has to be him.
Damian?
Yeah. It would have to be him.
I've been saying this for a long time. He has to tag team with Bad Bunny at some point this year to face the Judgment Day. Yeah. And everyone has been sitting here talking. He's not going to tag team with R-Truth. He's not going to do
You
that.
never know.
You never know.
I've been waiting. And Daniel, I've been waiting for you to come up with a storyline reason for Bad Bunny and Priest teaming up again after the feud they just had that ended that backlash. I'm waiting for you to come up with some storyline reason for them to come back together.
When you're in need and you're getting jumped, you call on your friends. Didn't Charlotte call Becky Lynch for the War Games?
Yeah.
I mean,
if they can mend fences. If they can mend fences, those two, after the clash they had, anyone can.
It won't happen until Damian's put on a feature or Bad Bunny makes a song about him.
At some point, it's going to happen. Could be
He's got to make another Booker T song, you know?
Could be Booker T as his tag team partner.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Booker got one more running.
No more Booker T.
No more Booker.
Y'all don't want Shucky Ducky Quack Quack? That's a Hall of Famer in two companies.
He can barely do the spinning Rooney now. Come on.
Show some respect. The disrespect to champions on this show is just egregious.
One champion. That's one champion.
I mean, when he didn't do the scissors kick at last year's Royal Rumble, that's when I knew, like, okay, yeah, he's wearing down. The fact that's a signature move and he's not doing it. Oh yeah, he's wearing down. He can't do it anymore.
Senior
citizen, hey, can you do it for me? Somebody else do it for me real quick.
Yeah. Senior citizen.
Sorry, Booker T, man. Sorry.
He should have just done the bookend, you know?
Right. He did do a bookend in that Rumble. He did do a bookend. I remember that.
Did he?
Oh, man.
Yeah, he did. He did a
bookend.
I don't remember the who, but he did do a bookend.
Oh, man. Y'all killing my guy, man. Y'all killing my guy, man. Show some respect, man. Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. Houston's own.
He needs to stick to Trick Williams' intro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of Lewis, I'm glad you just brought that up. Trick Williams needs to be in the Royal Rumble just for that reason alone. Just for his entrance alone.
Crowd will go crazy.
You won't have Booker T ad-libbing, but you'll have the crowd, the whole stadium, and whoop that trick.
As I said, we need to hear that at the Rumble in a big stage like that because it's in Tampa. It's in the stadium where the Devil Rays play, right? Where they did the Thunder Dome, right?
Yeah.
So that stadium's going to be packed. Like we need to hear Trick Williams in the Royal Rumble. We need to. We need to. One thing the Royal Rumble needs to have is Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, both of them actually.
Well,
I want Braun Breaker.
I'm hearing Braun Breaker. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Braun Breaker.
He's long overdue. Long overdue, man. He needs to be on the main roster.
If anything, he should be the first person to come up on that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania.
Listen, he's been there as long as I think who was the longest there that just Finn Balor, I think it was. Like he was champion for mad long. Somebody was there for super long. That's in the main roster.
I remember Gargano was there for a while.
I was about to say I think it was Johnny Gargano because
Johnny Gargano. Yeah,
he is Mr. NXT. He's done everything. So
before Tommaso Ciampa Get out of here.
I want another Tommaso Ciampa run so badly.
Yeah,
Goldie.
This is where the long-term booking kind of hurts, right? Because Gunther has been so awesome for so long. It's like that mid-card title could have went to Tommaso. That could have went to Johnny Gargano.
This is the problem with not having separate tag titles.
John. That's been another thing on the show with the tag teams, with the tag team titles. The fact that they've been unified for so long, and we got all these teams that are coming up with literally nothing to do on both shows.
I agree. I agree. The tag titles need to be separated. Honestly, you need to have a Raw tag title and a SmackDown tag title. Just like how they separated the obviously they had to, because Roman Reigns was sucking up all the air out of everything. So we need to separate.
Too high.
Everybody can't succeed. Everybody can't be at the top. All right.
No. He's not at the top. He's
what are you talking about? He took a break and all the stories breathed and everybody's him up. What are you talking about?
So much to the point, Austin Theory cashed in his money in the bank for the U.S. title because he
he couldn't cash it. He tried to go cash it in Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns was nowhere near to be found.
Hey! You got to blame Tyson Fury for that, for punching him in the face, because he was going to cash it in at Clash of the Castle. That is not Roman Reigns' fault. That has nothing to do with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that was Tyson Fury.
That was in that Clash at the Castle.
No, I remember that. He knocked Austin Theory out.
Yeah,
it wasn't Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, it was Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it was in.
It was in England. It was in England. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, so don't blame Roman Reigns for failed cash. Don't do that.
I blame him.
All right, but we can move on to the women's Royal Rumble. Obviously, a lot has changed over the past couple of months, especially with the Charlotte Flair injury. So she will not be in the Royal Rumble.
Damn, I thought you said she was coming back.
I can't. I was joking. I was joking in the chat. I saw a rehab. And she was moving her.
No, she'll be back. She'll be back.
I was like, she'll be back in a couple weeks. She'll be back.
As soon as you saw ACL, any talk of her coming back in 3 months was shipping out the door.
She said it was her ACL, MCL, everything. She tore her.
Everything was bad. It was bad. Yeah, it's bad. So hopefully she has a speedy.
I actually agree with Daniel on this one. So I already know what he's gonna pick. I'm probably gonna pick the same person that he's gonna pick. So. Just letting you know, this is the first time we're ever gonna agree.
Yeah, I mean, we know Damage Control is gonna be in there. We know Bayley's gonna be in there. We know Oscar's gonna be in there. Also in there, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupree, and Ivy. Now they have been keeping the Royal Rumble secret, right? Usually, you have a bunch of wrestlers coming out saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the Royal Rumble every week." They have gone away from that and just have the stars of the Royal Rumble apparently just talk about it. So we've had Bayley obviously talking about it, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, which has been heating up a lot. They've been going at it. Bianca Belair has been saying that she's going to win. Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile obviously on the lower end. But who do you guys have in winning the women's Royal Rumble?
As far as winning goes, I mean, for me, it comes down to two people, and that's Bayley and Becky Lynch. Because you look at the respective women's champions on both shows. I mean, on Raw, they're really pushing hard. Pushing this Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley match very hard, because I think they had a couple weeks ago Becky Lynch come out and confront Rhea Ripley, and then last week on Raw, after Nia Jax threw Becky Lynch out of the ring, they had a confrontation where like Rhea Ripley pretty much said, "Well, if Nia threw you out, you need to just forget about WrestleMania with me." So they're pushing that hard, and then on the other show, you got Bayley and damage control and how that story is gonna play out. I mean, they're already alluding to the fact that the rest of Damage Control is kind of separating themselves from Bayley during her match with Bianca. They didn't get involved when typically in any other circumstance they would get involved. So they've really been building that up. But since Bayley is the one that made the declaration that Damage Control was going to be draped in gold, and this coming Friday, the Kabuki Warriors are going to have that tag team match and presumably win. Because they've been telling that story, I don't see anybody else winning the Rumble outside of Bayley, because in seeing which direction this story can go into, saying that she was the one that said they're all gonna have gold. I just see them kicking her out before then, and then in her haste she goes after Io for the title to continue that story. So from that standpoint, I'll go with Bayley, but I will make a little prediction. Jade Cargill is going to debut in this Rumble, and she's going to be in the Final Four, and she might honestly break the record for the most eliminations in a Women's Royal Rumble.
She should be in the Final Four.
Yeah.
She should debut, and she should be in the Final Four.
All right. So with everything Brian just said, so that's that. So my last two picks were going to be Bayley and Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I say Nia just because I think her return this time has been great. The fact that she's actually beat Becky clean makes her a strong contender.
Yeah.
I honestly don't want Becky to win the title, to win the Rumble again.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley, I would be more confident in Bayley, but this whole Damage Control storyline, I see them screwing her in the Rumble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see them like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh yeah, no, we're on your side. Boom, toss her out. Like, you're out of Damage Control. That's why I see her either working her way to fight Io at Mania.
Yes.
But I mean, also depends on who wins. So I don't know. It's tricky because I think Nia's run has been great, and we've seen all the women that have won the Rumble so far, and it's like we've already had Charlotte, we've had Bianca, we've had Rhea, Becky. It's like, why would you want to give Becky another Rumble, win when you have
she
other
won
people
like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Exactly, and she had like a huge run and everything. So it's like, I think that's kind of been done. I mean, if you want to have whoever wins the Rumble and then somehow Becky makes it another triple threat, I mean, I don't know. But
No.
Exactly.
I feel like
I think I'm gonna go Nia
Jax. Okay. Good.
I feel like obviously Bayley. I'm not saying Bayley would win, but my two people that I had is Bayley and Bianca. But believe it or not, I can see them putting her like to back to. Didn't she win 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? So
she won during
I think
Rumble that was at Rumble in the Thunderdome.
Yeah. So I could see her winning. Because it's setting up a Bayley, a Bianca and Rhea matchup at Mania would be cool to see. And to Lewis's point, if they do go that route, because we all know Bayley's going to face Io Sky at Mania. That's going to be the match for them. Damage Control is going to be done. Bayley would probably be a babyface again, and then that's where they would clash. But I do see that scenario playing out. Damage Control throwing Bayley out, and then pretty much telling her, you're out of Damage Control. Mm-hmm. But if that doesn't happen, if we start seeing it and she's in the Final Four, then Bayley would be the eventual winner. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that I would see Bayley win, is if she's in the Final Four and there's no other Damage Control member, then she's winning the Rumble. Other than that, then I would say Bianca. I could see Bianca winning the 2 Rumbles to go on to face Rhea Ripley, because honestly, that's the match that everybody wants to see. I don't want to see Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. I want to see Rhea Ripley versus Bianca. They both can wrestle. Mm-hmm. I don't know what is this fascination about Becky Lynch. She could barely move. I don't know. She does not. She can't. She is not. She's not Charlotte Flair, the GOAT. She's not, Rhea in the ring. She can't do these things that
I've been saying this on the show.
You still gotta respect what she's done, though. From the position she was in,
respectable she's earned her place. She's earned her place in history.
She's the leader. She's like the leader, her divas, not leader. I'm sorry, that's the wrong thing. She's like Michelle McCool. Like, she's good, but she's okay.
She has her place.
Yeah,
but my thing is, the match, just in general, I would rather see Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley because, as Lewis has said, Nia Jax has been great so far coming back. Like her heel work has been great, and people just generally don't like her. She's a lightning rod. I don't know what direction they're going to go with Rhea Ripley. I don't think they're going to do a heel versus heel going into Mania. That's where I'm kind of like I wouldn't go Nia Jax.
That's why I want to go Bianca.
Nobody on this show has been saying more than me for the past 2 months. Bayley's going to win the Royal Rumble. Bayley's going to win the Royal Rumble. But they have been putting this damage control thing into a place where she's always helping them and they aren't helping her. There's going to be at least 2 other damage control members in the Royal Rumble with her. Dakota Kai, we don't know her status. She's been out for a while. I don't know what her status is. Io's not going to be in it. So Asuka and Kairi Sane are probably going to dupe her out of the Royal Rumble. And that's where I'm like, I can see Bayley winning. I want Bayley to win. That would be my pick. But looking at the card and looking at how things have been playing out, they need a boost in that division. And I think they're going to do the bait and switch. And now if I'm thinking if Sasha Banks is returning at the Royal Rumble, that's going to set up the tag team.
If that happens, oh my God.
That's going to set up the tag team match with the Boston Hug Connection reuniting against Damage Control in some capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, I can't see Bianca winning. I just can't see it right now. I feel like there's going to be a different winner here, and I'm going with the hometown kid. My pick is Jade Cargill to win the Royal Rumble. And here's why.
Now, if you talk about impact,
here's why.
Do you think they're going to give her the Paige treatment?
I mean, if they do that, oh my God,
there's nobody.
They're booing her. They're going to boo her.
Yeah, that's fine.
She's a natural heel, so
that's fine. That's fine. That's the prestige behind her.
You got to build her.
I think Io, because they cost Bayley her chance, I think that's the point in time where they're going to have Io Sky drop the title. I don't think Io Sky is going to walk into WrestleMania as the champion, and I can see Bianca regaining the championship, setting up Bianca versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania.
You're too high on Jade Cargill. She's not winning the Rumble. Yeah, no, she's gonna make an appearance.
She's been working out.
She's been off TV for too long, though.
But
that's fine.
But they did the Paige. They did the Paige thing once. Like, let's say so. For example, Vince is not running it.
We've said it on here. The best place to hide a person is in the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's not as much action as we all think it is.
Yeah, but to win
it's just really you're just holding on until you get thrown out.
But to win it, that's crazy.
I just don't. Again, my original pick up until this point has been Bayley. But the way they've been playing that damage control thing, I can see them putting a tag team moment with her and Sasha Banks versus Damage Control. So I think they can play that in. That's where I'm just like, I just don't see. In terms of Nia Jax, I think she's going to be penciled in for Perth. Because she's from Wales, Australia. I think that's the game plan. That's the way they can. Or New Zealand. My bad. New Zealand or Wales.
That's what I was about to say. I was like,
she's from that area. So that's where I'm like, I can see them playing that with Rhea Ripley, them both heading into Perth at that point in time.
Yeah, because Perth is Rhea's show. They made that official. Yeah, Perth is Rhea's show. And if you need a monster heel for her to go against, because Rhea's going to be beloved because she's in our country. Mm-hmm. If you need a monster heel for her to go up against, it's Nia Jax. So that's why I'm kind of veering away from Nia.
That's why I'm going away. Becky Lynch, she doesn't need the Royal Rumble to get to Rhea Mania if that's the case, right? Like she can just challenge her at that point or win a contendership. Or whatever the case may be. I don't see anybody else coming in and winning like that in terms of on SmackDown. It's either Bianca or Bayley. Bianca just won. And then, again, everything is lined up for Bayley, right? She's never won the Royal Rumble. She's never headlined to WrestleMania. She's been champion at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
she's retained, but she's never headlined in terms of being on her own, kind of like a Sasha Banks or Bianca Belair or Charlotte. She's the only 4 horsewoman who hasn't had that walk into WrestleMania. And I'm like, at this point in time, I can see her winning it and doing that, and I want that for Bayley. But it's just like that damage control angle. They're playing that up a little too much for me.
So I just thought of it and like I kind of rewrote it in my head. I was like, the only way the Bayley thing works out, I think, is she pulls like the turn. Let's say her, Asuka, and Kairi or whatever. They're taking people out left and right, and then boom, they take somebody out, and then she grabs both, flips them both over, and they're like, because she's already been noticing that like, yo, they're doing stuff without me.
She notices it.
So it's like that could be the mentality for like, all right, hey, final 5, boom, or whatever, getting close to the end, take them out.
But Lou,
that could be her chance for her to win. So that's where I'm. And now when you guys mentioned the whole purse stuff, I'm like, damn, that probably doesn't make more sense for Nia to face Rhea at Elimination Chamber. So I might have to change mine to Bayley.
No, but Lou, that's what I'm saying. Bayley, that would make sense if you want Bayley, but they're not going to do heel and heel because Io Sky.
Well, she would be a babyface at that point, wouldn't she?
She would be a babyface.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If Bayley does win, she's going to be automatic babyface.
You're right.
They're just going to. That's enough. I mean, if the turn happens at the Royal Rumble, I can see it that way. But if it happens after the Royal Rumble, I can see that. Well, like you weren't supposed to win. Like I can see that angle. Like you weren't supposed to win. You're not supposed to have your choice, and we don't trust you already. And they just attack her and beat her down. I can see that angle playing up. But it's just like again, that whole angle is just like I don't see it. Again, if Sasha Banks is coming back, which they have kept under wraps for pretty much a month now, and I don't know. I just don't think if she's going to go to AEW. I just don't see that pathway right now. How weak they are. I just don't see it. But in terms of if they're going to do that, I can see them doing the tag team thing. If Sasha Banks isn't in it, I can see them actually.
Sasha wouldn't come back just to win the tag titles again. That's
no. I mean, I don't think that's the plan. I think she's coming back to just help Bayley out. I think that's the angle that they can play on with her return rather than anything else. If she just comes back and then she just like maybe she turns on Bayley or whatever the case may be, I don't know. But it's just
would they do Sasha and Rhea? You think that would be a possibility?
The match that they were supposed to have at some point.
Also, there's another name that we're not thinking of that the reports just came out today that she more than likely is going to be there. We haven't talked about Naomi Trinity.
Oh, Naomi, yeah.
I don't know. Have they said that she's going to? Because I keep seeing her posting TNA stuff.
She had her last taping for TNA already. You remember how you said that it was not hard to kill in them?
She's gonna be. So she's
definitely gonna be in the Rumble.
Yeah. Remember, I think who was the TNA champion and she came in. I forgot her name.
The Jack chick. I forget.
Yeah. Mickey James.
She came in.
She was a TNA champ. She went in with the TNA belt to the Royal Rumble. So
no, I feel like TNA is a lot more friendly with that stuff. I'm pretty sure they're not going to. If she wants to go back to WWE, they're going to be like, yeah, go ahead. Because I feel like they're such, and especially right now, they're such in a different direction right now. I just feel like they will allow that to happen. I don't think that's going to be an issue. If Naomi comes back, I don't think she's going to win.
No.
If Naomi comes back, if Naomi comes back and wins, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't think she'll win.
I just don't see it.
Because of the TNA thing, I don't think she'll win.
I mean, I'm not. I think they've been trying to mend those fences for a long time now, so I feel like they would be all right. But I just don't see her winning. I feel like there's other players.
The only company where there's odds ends is obviously AEW, but every other company like the New Japan's, MLW, some of these other, well, actually not MLW because I think they just had a lawsuit finalized against them. But other than those two promotions, they'll pretty much be open to work with anybody. So, and you are like John mentioned the Mickey James deal when she came into the Rumble. I think that right there was that's kind of what opened up the lines of communication between TNA and WWE. So I don't think that will influence anything if Naomi were to win. Yeah.
And people don't forgot that what's it called? Okada is supposed to be signed with WWE. Now, Okada's wife also wrestles, and she's a bigger star than Okada in Japan. So she might. And what the rumors are, from what I've been reading on, is that Okada's wife is supposed to be in the Rumble. So if that
Here's the
happens,
thing.
that's crazy.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Besides fans like us, smart fans, how many people actually know of either Okada or his wife? Like on a US level, not a lot of people know about Okada. Now you would think that the Rumble is a big enough event for him to debut, and he'll get the proper crowd reaction. I don't know if I don't necessarily know that, even though it's in Florida, that Okada would get the reaction he deserves. Now, if the Rumble was in Philly or in New York, then you bring Okada. Everybody knows.
I think wrestling fans know who he is.
Yeah.
That's what I think they know who he is. I'm not sure who his wife is. I need to check that.
Yeah. His wife is good though. His wife
if she's in it, then I mean,
yeah, he's definitely signed. That's the given. Okay. If she's in the Rumble, like the reports are saying, then he's definitely signed. He's 100% WWE bound, because his main thing was obviously his family from Japan to here. And remember, like I was telling you, Daniel, I think I was telling Wu or Dan or you, one of you guys, I don't remember. With Okada, he's more Americanized than Shinsuke was. So Shinsuke was more obviously, like when Shinsuke debuted, he was more, everybody knew who he was, but he was still that, the formal Japanese wrestler. Okada is more Americanized. Remember, his nickname is the Rainmaker. He's already got an American nickname. So it's like the minute he comes in, he's already top 5 wrestler. Yeah, he's already the top top 5 wrestler the minute he comes in. He puts on 5-star matches in all his matches, and I've seen a lot of his matches in NJ and New Japan. So I'm telling you, he is dope. Him, AJ Styles, forget it.
I need to watch more of his matches, because I've seen only the Okada stuff that he's done in AEW, which I thought was okay.
No,
and I'm like, I need to watch more of his. That's why I'm like, I need to see more of like what he can, because he's a really tall dude, and like,
he's big. Yeah.
He goes hard. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, I don't know. And this was the only thing I heard today. I saw somebody that I follow, that there was talks of him going to NXT, which I was like, you cannot do that to him.
It's not gonna happen. He's too big of a star.
And if you do literally give him the title off rip, and then like a month later,
if you're gonna put him in NXT, then that's mandatory.
I could see that happening. Because Rick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are definitely going to face each other. Braun Breaker should be called up. Ilya Dragunov needs somebody to face. If you put him and Okada in it,
I hope Ilya is also in the Rumble, because Ilya is a freaking
he's a beast, man. I could see that the Okada and Ilya going at it. That would be a great match to see. Oh my god!
That man looks like he goes Super Saiyan every match. I'm like,
crazy.
They kill it. But just in general, it's just like, if they're gonna do that, if they bring in Okada, I've been seeing reports of him saying that they're gonna start with NXT, and it's like they kind of do that with everybody. The only person that skipped was AJ. That's literally the only person that were like, no, you're too good, go up. But it's like, I feel like they're in a different place now where they could do that and have that international feel, because once Okada comes in, that's just going to bring that whole fan base. So, I mean, people are going to want to see him in WWE.
Yeah, especially what they've done with Shinsuke recently. It's like,
you
already know that the language thing isn't a huge.
It's not a thing anymore. Nope.
Because remember, Vince used to bury people.
Yep, Vince did used to bury people. Yeah, and that's why Triple H has this new initiative now with Mexican and Asian wrestlers now, where it's like, okay, we're gonna make them household names now, because that stigma, that crap that Vince used to do. If you don't speak old man's English, then you can't get over on my program. That bullshit.
Exactly. Dragon Lee is a good example. Dragon Lee is a very good example. So I feel like that's gonna be great. And Okada speaks English. And he does speak English. So he
a lot of WWE foreign wrestlers speak English. WWE under Vince
doesn't allow them. I know.
Just act like they.
It's like, you speak English. You don't speak English at all. Just Just speak Japanese. Just speak Japanese. That's it.
But for the women's Royal Rumble, Brian has Bailey, Lewis has Nia Jax, I have Jade, and
I changed mine to Bailey.
He's going Bailey now.
I'm going Bailey.
Now, I've been saying for 2 months that Bailey's going to win the Rumble. Now, all of a sudden, everyone's on board, and I'm off board.
When did you come to this whole Nia Jax thing? Sorry, Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill, because he's
trying to strap the rocket to the moon.
Yeah, I'm going with the wild card, man. I'm going with because you can't bring her in. Just my thing.
Yes,
you can't bring her in just as another woman on the roster.
Yes, you can.
They've invested too much.
She's had one title reign. She's had one.
No. I gotta agree with Daniel on this one. I mean, for God's sakes, when she signed, ESPN covered it. So it was a big deal.
Well, remember this? That was at the time that she signed. Now everybody's been covered. Like anybody that signs has been covered by ESPN now. The whole CM Punk thing.
I mean, it's been CM Punk and The Rock. I mean,
that's true. But Jade Cargill cannot win the Royal Rumble in her first match ever. There's no way. I would be so pissed.
I'm just saying, she has been training since September.
But that's like me being saying I'm gonna train as a cop and then just throw me out there into the nearest projects and be like, yo, here you go, badge and gun, go do your duty. Like, I'm gonna get killed.
That's fine. But you have no experience as a cop.
But Daniel, one question, and Brian, you could chime in too. Who are some of these prominent names that Jade has beat?
Nobody.
Whoa.
No. Give me some of the names. Give me some of the 5-star matches she's had.
Are we going to treat her like WWE did Booker T on his entrance? Are we going to do that?
No.
How many title reigns did Booker have? How many title reigns did Booker have? He was the what?
Hey.
He was the what?
So
Jade has the one.
We're judging Jade Cargill now by the ineptitude of AEW's women's roster. That's what we're gonna do.
Horrible. She was.
I understand that point. But she has been training.
Oh, that's your only thing. She's been training.
She's been training at the Nightmare Factory for a
while.
Ivy
Niles has been training. Ivy Niles has been training. And Nikki Cross has been training.
And has people around her that are good in the ring and have been training.
She's
already familiar with the ring.
Daniel, remember
they haven't shown her.
Yes, and on top of that, even if they haven't shown her, Daniel, even when Cody was asked about that question, has she trained at the Nightmare Factory? Cody even said to distance himself because he's like, she's trash. It's not her fault, but whoever trained her was trash. He said, I never personally trained her because he didn't want nothing to do with that.
I'm telling you, if Jade wins the women's Royal Rumble, you all owe me.
I swear, I will send you $100 if Jade wins the Royal Rumble.
I'm just saying,
not winning the Royal Rumble.
It's a wild card pick.
No,
Dan, you do this every pay-per-view. You do this every pay-per-view. He likes to go to far right field. And
we've said on the
bridge with that pick.
We've said on this show, if she gets eliminated, that's going to be her Mania feud. I'm fine with that. Whoever eliminates her, that's her feud going in the Mania. But I'm just saying, at this point in time, I don't see them walking in the ring with Io as champion. Bianca needs a challenger. She's not going to face. She's not. There's no other on SmackDown. There's no other.
Wwhy wouldn't Io still make it to Mania if she has damage control?
I just don't think they're going to do that. Especially if Bailey's going to get screwed, she's going to cost. If Bailey gets screwed, she's going to cost her the title. That's just how I see it.
No.
If Bailey wins, I'm just telling you,
they have to do Bailey. They have to do Bailey versus Damage Control at Mania.
That's going to be the main story. It's going to be a big story.
I just don't see it. Because what are you going to have Bianca do then? What are you going to have Bianca do?
Maybe go against Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
No. That match needs to be saved. Needs to be like saved.
I don't know, something called WrestleMania, but according to Dan, she's been training
for the title. For the title.
That match needs to be saved up and build up properly. Because when Jade signed, first
easily, I'm the EST of WWE, and you got your trained specimen Jane Cargill coming in. Why not have that beautiful match?
Yeah.
Why does the title need to be
for the title?
Not enough time to tell the story.
He's not ready for a title match.
They got to do it.
He's not ready for a title match.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm not listening to you guys. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
You're shooting for the stars there.
I'm going with Jade Cargill.
I shooting the moon, bro.
Hey. Get ready to put that X on that record again.
I know it's a long shot, but hey, I need.
Dan, you want to read off our records real quick before we continue?
No, I don't. We don't need to.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I want to hear the record.
I have not done this. I have not done this. Okay. Lewis is ahead with 51-19, so Lewis has been spotless this whole time. Brian is 43.
That's a smart booking.
Brian is 43-27, and I'm bringing up the rear here with 38-31. So I'm willing to take chances on this show.
My brother, you're the Derek Carr. You're the Derek Carr. The Derek Carr of you're the Derek Carr of picking stuff.
Shit!
Actually, Dan,
of all people, Derek Carr.
Okay.
Horrible picking. Horrible.
I was gonna say something. Should we restart because it's a new year?
I think we should. Put me in.
Hey, and it's the first pay-per-view of the year.
Because last year we started at the Elimination Chamber. So if we want to
start at the Rumble.
If we want to restart, okay. We can start from 0-0.
Well, I had a great year.
Yes.
I'm gonna be on
where's my trophy? Where's my crown?
Shady booking.
Smart booking. That's all it was.
Shady booking and insiders that we don't have. That's all that is. So I guess we can start over if that's the case. All right. But let's move on to the men's Royal Rumble. Of course, everyone has been vying for a spot, saying that they're winning. CM Punk's recent return has impacted the shuffle in WWE. Cody Rhodes, of course, needs to finish his story. Drew McIntyre needs to finish his story. Apparently, that's the thing that's happening right now in wrestling. Everyone needs to finish their story.
Our truth needs to finish that story.
Our truth.
I've been saying,
what's up?
He's going to sell enough T-shirts to get into the main event of WrestleMania.
Yes.
But
I actually do want that shirt. I'm not gonna lie.
I already ordered it. I
want that shirt. That shirt is dope. But in terms of, I've been saying this leading up to this. On the Raw side, we have a lot more of the Royal Rumble talk than the SmackDown side because 3 of the main prominent roles on SmackDown are in the main event facing Roman Reigns. So that eliminates a lot of the SmackDown guys out of it. And has a smoke focusing on the Raw side of things. But who do you guys have coming out in this? There's CM Punk, there's Drew McIntyre, there's Damian Priest, there's Cody Rhodes.
All right, you guys mind if I go on this one first?
Yeah,
because I've been thinking about this since the Netflix announcement. I've been thinking about this for the last 2 days, and I'm gonna bring up a couple of points. Number one. The fact that they advertised this face-to-face between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk before the Rumble, I think that plays a tremendous role on the finish because there's 2 polarizing stars right now, 2 of their top talents. Why would you not want to save that first face-to-face, that first confrontation actually in the Rumble? Mm-hmm. Because think of the pop of the crowd because when you think about it, you know. As far as favorites for the Rumble go, I mean, Cody and CM Punk are at the top of everybody's list. So why not save that for the Rumble? The fact that they used it on Monday Night Raw, and then a second point I want to bring up, and I actually realized this when I was. Have you guys seen the commercial for WWE 2K24?
Yes.
And how they're pretty much basing the whole game around Cody and finishing the story. It kind of made me think. Finishing the story doesn't mean beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the title. Finishing the story means winning the title that his father never won, which was stated in that first promo he cut when he came back. So therefore, he doesn't need to necessarily beat Roman at WrestleMania to finish the story. He just needs to win the title. So that doesn't necessarily need to happen at WrestleMania.
Wait.
So therefore, talk about finishing the story. So therefore, with everything that's been going on, now my heart wants to say Cody Rhodes because it is the better story. But now I gotta look at WWE's track record. Do they value the better story or making more money? And they've always chosen money, no matter who's in charge. So therefore, The Rock is entering the Rumble at number 30, and he's winning the Royal Rumble to main event WrestleMania. I'm the one predicting it. I'm putting it out there. Just like Daniel's putting himself on the limb with Jade Cargill, I'm putting myself on the limb with The Rock. The Rock is going to win this world. Is going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm putting it out there now.
All right, I'm gonna go next. So so we already know who I'm gonna pick. That's Mr. the best in the world, of course. He's gonna win the Royal Rumble. There's no and ifs or buts. That was already given the minute he debuted back to WWE. Everybody knew it's signed, sealed, and delivered. He's going to WrestleMania to main event night 1 because I wanted him to beat Roman, of course, but Daniel.
Why wouldn't he do that? He's supposed to be the best in the world.
Daniel,
he should be on night 2.
Yeah, no, of course, but just to piss Daniel off, I wish he was on night 2 beating Roman, but that's not happening. So he's winning the Royal Rumble. It's going to be Cody and him, final 2, and he eliminates Cody. He goes on to win the Royal Rumble, and it all depends on Seth. For me, I think Seth is the key. Seth is the big key. If Seth can go, depending on what they give him, because I'm pretty sure he's going to have an update. They're going to have an update by Saturday for Seth, internally, like not for us or anybody, but like internally. Whatever happens to Seth, then I think they'll change the plans. But for right now, I'm going to be 1-0 in this one. My pick is pretty good. CM Punk is going to win the Rumble. Lewis?
Go ahead, Lewis.
Go with me, brother. Join the dark side. Join the dark side. Come on.
Okay. And you know what's funny? And like you just touched on it because, Punk was my initial pick.
Oh, God.
But and like you said, Seth is the key. And it's not that it sucks that it happened, but they did this whole Cody Punk promo reports of Cody's not wrestling main event, not finishing his story. You got all the Rock stuff. I don't want the Rock in the Rumble.
Me neither.
I'd rather have like a stare down or something, with Roman or something. But I'm torn. I've been saying the longest time Cody is not. Hold on.
We don't know. I'm just saying. The thing is, we don't know what's main eventing the pay-per-view. Is it Roman's match main eventing the pay-per-view, or is it the Royal Rumble?
See, that's another thing.
That's probably the Rumble. Most likely the Rumble.
It should be the Rumble.
Because if Roman main events, that changes everything.
Yeah.
What if they did the men's Royal Rumble first?
No,
I said that last time. You were like, no.
They can't start it with the men's Royal. It has to be the women's Royal Rumble has to kick off the show this year.
Yeah,
and screw everybody up.
No. I think the Rumble is the last main. That's the main event. The Rumble. It has to be. It's been like that for every single Rumble. Don't change it for Roman Reigns, Daniel. It's not happening.
They've had a couple matches that weren't, because I vividly remember I think Undertaker and Kurt Angle were the last match.
At the Rumble?
There's a couple of ones that
Rumble. I remember that. Yeah.
Rumble hasn't main evented the event. It hasn't been like that all the time. So it has happened.
But that was when Vince had it. Vince.
But Lewis, go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off, but I'm just saying it just depends on who's the main event.
Like I was gonna say when I was really interrupted. I know Cody's not winning the Rumble again. He's not getting a back-to-back Rumble wins. I've been saying it, preaching it for an entire year. He's not getting it. I want him to finish the story. but he's not getting another.
No,
Rumble.
you don't. No,
yes,
you
I
don't.
do. Yes, I do.
In your heart, you don't want him to finish the story.
I was one of
this
you
has
can't
been
say
a
that because
year in the
I was
making.
rooting for him.
Want him to finish
I was rooting for him to beat Roman last year. We all were. And you know
Daniel,
how we were all.
And you left him at WrestleMania. That's what you did. You left his story at WrestleMania.
No, I didn't.
You buried it in the sand.
No, I didn't. All I said was
weren't you the first person to mention The Rock on this show?
The entire
you were the
year.
first
He's gonna
person
win the Rumble. He's gonna win the Rumble again. He has to do it again. He has to finish the story. But there's no other way he can finish the story. Really,
and destroyed any chance of his story. You did that. It's your fault. No. It's your fault.
No,
you did
Stop projecting. Stop projecting,
man.
Hey,
I'm just saying. It's your fault if he doesn't. It's your fault.
No. I'm going to go a different route just because of this person and their track record and just because they've been an amazing performer. I'm going to just go Gunther.
I knew it. I knew he was going to pick Gunther. I said,
safe.
If the Rollins injury didn't happen, I was easily gonna go Punk. I'm like, Punk has to face Rollins. I'm like that would, but you got the promo, the injury, that throws things up in the air. It's too uncertain, so I don't know. I'm not saying it's a safe bet, but Gunther has been freaking killing it. So why not give the man his due? I guess, or surprise everybody. I don't know.
Okay, Daniel. Before you go, let me ask everyone a question. Are things, as far as Cody Rhodes go, are things to the point where if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, it's going to be treated similarly to what happened to Daniel Bryan those 2 years in 14 and 15, where the fans are just going to turn on the Rumble entirely if he doesn't, or turn on entirely if he doesn't win.
I would say this. I do feel like there's enough players involved where people are going to be fine with everything. If CM Punk wins, no one's going to be surprised at that point in time, because if The Rock comes out and wins, no one's going to be surprised because he's made an appearance. He's shown his face. He's mentioned Roman Reigns. That's in play, the two. Gunther has made a prominent stand on Raw over the past year, and especially his performance last year in the Royal Rumble. He's pretty much can also win as well. But for me, I'm going to go Cody Rhodes. Brian said one thing. He said he has to win the title his father never won. He has to win the title his father never won. The World Championship just came out last year. He hasn't been gunning for that title. That's the one thing I'm saying. He has not been gunning for that title. He has been gunning for the top title.
Exactly.
Essentially the WWF title, which is not WWF anymore. The WWE Undisputed title is the title his father never. That's the lineage. Everything about it, Cody Rhodes has been lineage. Dusty Rhodes has been mentioned. He has everything has been lineage according to Cody Rhodes. That has been the storyline. CM Punk has mentioned Dusty Rhodes. Everyone has mentioned Dusty Rhodes. When he talked to Paul Heyman a couple months ago, he mentioned Dusty Rhodes. Everything about Cody Rhodes has been leading up to facing Roman for that title. That's that. Cody has to win. CM Punk just came back, and CM Punk winning would be awesome. Not going to lie about that. CM Punk coming back, winning the Rumble from 2014, his last appearance in the Royal Rumble, that would be dope if he won it. That would be dope because it's I'm just telling the truth. I'm being straight up right now. It would be dope.
All right, Daniel, let me ask you a question. Sorry to cut you off. Has Cody Rhodes verbally said, I need to win the title at WrestleMania, or has he verbally said, I need to win the title to finish the story?
So that means he can lose?
I'm just saying. He didn't say, he hasn't verbally said, I need to win this title at WrestleMania in order to finish my story. No.
I'm sorry. If that's the case, then screw the story.
No. Why?
What is the point?
He could win it at SummerSlam.
It's the same thing I've been saying.
No, I get what he's saying.
It's the same thing.
It's gonna mean so much more to win it.
It means more at WrestleMania, but that's not. But he's not.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing I said about Drew McIntyre. It's the same thing I said about Drew McIntyre. First of all, he already lost at WrestleMania 39. That's the one. You gotta redeem yourself. You can't do that you got to do it at WrestleMania. That's what you've been gunning for. I'm sorry. Did we forget that he had a face-off with Roman Reigns when he went to SmackDown? Hasn't he been going back and forth with Nick Aldis and stuff like that? What is the point of that? If you're going to lose at the Royal Rumble, Nah, we don't want to see the story anymore because there's going to be so many other players in play by the time you circle back. We don't want to see you.
He's gonna get himself
like that's
the triple threat with Roman and Rock. There we go. Because he can do that. Because he can
go to
do
Nick
that.
Aldis, right?
The man can walk over to SmackDown whenever he wants. He can bring people over. He has those EVP skills. He can do whatever he wants.
I just want to say
forever. He doesn't need the Rumble.
I just want to say for the record, whoever the Dirt Sheet reporters are, whoever it was that announced that they were going in that direction needs to shut the fuck up right now because nobody wants to see that shit at all. No, we do not want to see a triple threat with Cody, Rock, and Roman.
Why not?
It has to be Roman has to be in a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. No triple threat, no fatal four-way. It has to be one-on-one. That's mandatory.
Again, as I said, I said this before. I've been saying this all year. If The Rock is in the Royal Rumble, if CM Punk is in the Royal Rumble, they're only stacking the deck so Cody Rhodes can beat them. That's it. That is the story. That is how the story has to happen. He has to eliminate those guys.
No, he's not going to be Austin 2.0 here. Austin is the only one.
That is fine. I'm sorry. Who else, out of everybody here, who else deserves it? Nobody else deserves it. As much as
Does he deserve it? He's had like one match since he's been back that isn't televised.
He deserves it.
I will say this much though. I'm picking Rock to win it, but if Cody and Rock are the last two,
Cody has to eliminate him.
I mean, because
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna say
the last two.
I'm just gonna say they threw a chicken in the ring at WrestleMania after Cody Rhodes lost. They threw a chicken in the ring. They cannot have that man sit there and lose at the Royal Rumble and especially get tossed out by The Rock and then sit there and be like, oh, we care about your story. We can't care about your story. As I said before, if he turns heel, he has to be like Homelander off The Boys. He can't sit there and continue to be a babyface. We have no investment in you. You can't continue your story. You can't. You can. What is he going to do? He's going to win it at SummerSlam?
No, he can't. Remember, he still can win the title. This is where you're getting off track, D. It's just that
I'm sorry.
He doesn't have to win the Rumble.
I'm sorry.
I get what Dan's saying. He had the biggest loss at WrestleMania, so the only redemption he fully deserves.
What I'm saying also about that is that CM Punk doesn't need the Rumble in order to go to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins.
Of course not. But remember, there's two ways to get to the Mania, to the main event Mania. You got the Rumble and you got the Elimination Chamber. So
I'm not putting Cody Rhodes in the Elimination Chamber.
Why not?
John, I will admit. Daniel has been adamant about Cody Rhodes in the Elimination Chamber for a year now. I'll give him that. He's been adamant.
We cannot. Again, as I said,
how many chamber matches has Cody been in?
Yeah, none.
He's probably been in one.
One?
No,
I don't think
he wasn't one. I remember
it was with Legacy. I think it was with Legacy.
It wasn't that. It was actually. Do you guys remember that Elimination Chamber that Santino was in, where he was in the
final? Oh, he almost won. Yeah. With the Cobra.
Cody Rhodes was in that one. I remember that.
Yeah. He almost beat Daniel Bryan with it, right?
Santino almost beat Daniel Bryan. I remember that.
My God. I see Cody being in a chamber match just because it's a chamber match.
And I'm telling you, the chamber match brings prestige. There's so many people. Shawn Michaels won his first heavyweight championship.
The Elimination Chamber in 2002 brought prestige. This thing here that they have, this little playpen where it's not as violent. No.
Bring the steel grates back and everything.
It's fucking people up.
we never got into that. Now, if you've noticed, blood is everywhere. You see blood everywhere.
I understand that part.
So they Elimination Chamber, they can make it gruesome like they did last time. Well, the previous years before PG Super Cena came through, but
Cody Rhodes has to win the Royal Rumble, man.
No, he's gonna win Elimination Chamber. Don't worry.
I don't get this is what I'm saying. I've been agreeing about finishing the story. I'm just like, he doesn't need the
Rumble. Yes, he doesn't need the Rumble.
Okay, so let's say this. So
he had it last year.
So let's say this.
Exactly.
He can win it again.
No. It's bad.
Man.
It's too predictable.
I said it the
It's
minute
too predictable.
that he was saying this. I'm like, it's too obvious to give the man back-to-back Rumble
Yes.
wins.
Is it okay? So let me say this: it was obvious last year because they put him in at number fucking 30, and he walked in, and they did all those promos for him. We knew he was winning.
Yeah,
we knew
and he did
was winning at that point.
And he
I
did.
said it before: if he enters 1 through 10, and they put The Rock in there, and they put CM Punk in there, and they put all these heavy hitters in there, and he eliminates them, that's going to add to his story.
Yeah, I'll even shorten it. No, not 1 through 10, 1 through 5. No, it has to be 1 through 5. Nah.
Yeah, he has to go.
It has to be more special than what he did last year. So
he has to go to this. Yeah, I completely agree with that. But I'm going Cody Rhodes, man. Nothing. He has to finish his story the traditional route. The Elimination Chamber is not traditional. Oh, I lost the Rumble.
But he already had the traditional route and lost.
Wait.
He had the traditional route and lost.
He lost the Rumble, but then he has to get a second chance to get his story again.
Yeah.
Did this not happen with Daniel Bryan? Did this not happen with Daniel Bryan? Did this not happen with Daniel Bryan?
And remember, Roman's not advertised for the Elimination Chamber, so he's not going to have a match.
Exactly, it's going to be for a number 1 contender spot.
Yes, thank you. I'm telling you, Cody Rhodes will win the Elimination Chamber.
This is my last point. This is my last point. CM Punk came back to challenge Seth Rollins for the title. Is that what you're going to tell your kids? That he came to challenge for the secondary title to wrestle on night 1 of a 2-night free extravaganza.
How is it secondary?
His words.
If it's on television, way more.
I'm just saying, CM Punk came back to win the secondary title and not the big one. Is that what y'all are going to say?
No,
he's on. He's on Raw. He can't challenge for the other title.
I will say this.
He's a free agent.
John,
he's a free agent. Oh yeah, he did. But the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to pick who they face.
Yeah, he already said he wants Seth. It's gonna
be coming back. I'm just saying again, he's gonna win the Royal Rumble to challenge for the secondary title
because of the story.
Yeah,
because of the beef between them. What are you talking about?
They have to.
I thought he wanted
Daniel, let me ask you this. Wait.
I thought he wanted to be the best in the world.
No. Let me ask you this before you do anything. Would you rather see a CM Punk versus Roman Reigns with no buildup, or which already has like years in the making of buildup of Seth Rollins?
They have 3 months to get to the WrestleMania.
Paul Heyman is the long-term booking. What happened to old school booking?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
You want to know whose story has been longer? You want to know whose story has been longer? Cody Rhodes trying to win the title his father never won. And that happened when he exited WWE X amount of years ago. That is a long-term booking. That is a story. And again, I'm just saying, CM Punk is coming back to be secondary best in the world. He doesn't need the Rumble. Why do you have that choice in your hand and you're challenging Seth Rollins? He's not undisputed. He doesn't have the longest reign.
All right, so clearly we all picked someone different for this men's Royal Rumble. Hence why this men's Royal Rumble is going to be the most. There's going to be when we all watch this together on Saturday. There's going to be a lot of emotion in Lewis's house when we watch that men's Royal Rumble.
I'm just saying in general.
Oh yeah.
I think this is the first time in a long time where all of us picked someone completely different. We're not even on the same page for this men's Royal Rumble. So this is going to be interesting.
The only matches we differed on was the Logan and Roman match. John picked Kevin Owens and Randy, right? You picked Randy?
Yeah.
Okay, you picked Randy. We picked Logan and we picked Roman on that match. Brian has Bayley in the Women's Royal Rumble. So does Lewis. I have Jade. John has Bianca. Brian has The Rock. I have Cody. Lewis has Gunther, and John has CM Punk. So we all generally picked different people. So we all have different investments in this Royal Rumble on Saturday. Definitely going to be interesting. Definitely going to be emotional. I have a notebook that I bought that I'm going to write all the list of the wrestlers that come out. I'm going to try to say who gets eliminated in those matches. Probably not going to be the best of keeping up. But when it happens and we do our live reactions, it's going to be hell. Because somebody is going to get their heart ripped out multiple times. multiple times people are going to get
someone might cry on this podcast.
Yep.
Not me.
It's gonna be Daniel.
Daniel.
Cody Rhodes, sure. I'm saying it right now. If Cody Rhodes does not win the Royal Rumble, you can mark it right now. 1 hour, 58 minutes, 50 seconds. If Cody Rhodes does not win the Royal Rumble, I'm going to AEW.
He said full time.
You sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that? I just watched this last episode of Collision. I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah, he don't want to do that. He don't want to do that.
Daniel Daly.
No, go to TNA. They're starting new. You know, they're
true. I'll go to a different. Go to
TNA.
Nick Namath.
Become a fan of Ash by Elegance.
Nick Namath.
Nick Namath.
Tony Storm 2.0 is down there too.
Pretty much.
Tell me, did she come out with a vignette or did she have like a promo segment yet?
I haven't
seen if it's a Tony Storm ripoff or not.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be that. It's got to be because it's like, why did you come back as that? And TNA, as I said before, for her character, for TNA, it's like I thought you guys would have done her better because she's a star coming down to you guys. Well, a WWE person coming down to you guys. Figured you would have treated her better in that than sending her up with that. But gonna be interesting on Saturday. Can't wait. Shit, man, it's gonna be crazy. Royal Rumble, one of the best Royal Rumbles, anticipated Royal Rumbles, I should say that. And there's only 4 matches on the card, so I'm like, these Royal Rumble well, Roman's gonna get a 30+ minute match, probably. And the Royal Rumbles are probably gonna be long, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see how
an hour piece, yeah.
But that will do it for this episode 49. John, thank you for joining us as always. Thank you for adding CM Punk appeal to the show in different perspective. It's going to be interesting, and I know we're going to give each other hell depending on who wins at the Rumble.
I'll be here for the next episode.
It's going to be awesome. So thank you guys for always joining me. And
the recap's going to be a doozy.
So the live stream will be on Saturday. I will set that up and put details out there. Probably the Royal Rumble probably starts at 8, but I'll probably send out all the information there. We're going to be doing a live stream. You're going to be seeing our live reactions and probably do a little recap afterwards. So it's going to be great. Can't wait to see you guys. Can't wait for the Royal Rumble. And until next time, guys, thank you guys.
Daniel.